still inspected too. That's... Hi, welcome back to the Addicted Motors YouTube channel. My name is Troy, and today... Hi, welcome back to the Addicted Motors YouTube channel. It is New Year's Day. My name is Troy. I'm on the way to shop to pick up a car I bought sight unseen at a dealership auction for $100. Nope, I'm absolutely serious. The final bid was $100. The floor was met. There was a $75 processing fee, and it was $71 shipping, and maybe a couple other fees. My grand total for a supposedly, allegedly running and driving car was $341. It has been delivered to our shop, and I'm going to go pick it up and check it out for the first time. Follow along. And if you're new to the channel, this is kind of what we do. Sometimes we play a little bit of auction roulette, but I have never seen on the internet or anywhere else buying a car from a live dealership auction for $100. Times have changed. COVID's over. It's a fun time to be alive. So is it this one? No, it's... Yeah, baby. So in reality, I didn't know this was possible. So this is the fruits of my labor and stupidity right here. It's a $100 Camry with 330,000 miles. And it looks like a $100 Camry with 30,000 miles. This car is the most appropriately priced car in the history of cars. And let's check it out. Here it is, dropped off. It was in the Chester auction. Has a couple owners. It's got 333,000 miles. I knew nothing about it. No car taxes or anything. I just plunked in a bid and forgot about it, and it showed up a few days later. And I am $341 poorer and one awesome high mileage needs nothing Camry richer. This is like if a movie director said, "Hey, I want you to find a beater Camry and make it look like it's got 300,000 miles." I think this is exactly what it would look like. We've got some reinforcements on the hood. We're missing a grill. That's okay. This thing's still inspected too. Wow, that's awesome. And I mean, what did they trade this in for? $25? You know what I mean? Like, this is the story of this car. Yeah, sorry, I should have mentioned, it's from Carvana. So they either paid or didn't give the guy anything. I'm not sure how this works, how this car came to be, but it's beat, it's here. It has 4 tires, it has 4 doors. I don't really think there's much else to say. It's here. It's a Camry. There's nothing really much to talk about. All right, let's see what this thing smells like on the inside, because I'm sure it doesn't smell great. It smells like, like a slight smoky smell. It's kind of comforting. It smells like, a bar from the early 2000s. All right, let's see if it fires up. Like, the battery's not even dead. Little belt squeak. And it's gone. It is a Camry. Oh, it does have a check engine light. Well, it's probably because Mike cold revved it when it landed. But, I mean, other than that, it smells like high school in here. It's even got the Supernova little trees. The headliner's not completely sagged out. It's got little, cigarette burn marks and all that fun stuff from living a life as a beater Camry. But maybe someone tried to clean this up a little bit before they traded it in. I mean, it was $100. And this experiment to me is kind of fun because that is what this car is worth. It should have been free, but they have to assign a dollar amount to it. You can't have these type of transactions without some dollar amount. And yes, this is a $100 car. This is what a $100 car looks like. And honestly, there should be more of them. You know what I mean? This isn't COVID anymore. Cars should be free. This thing is mechanically totaled. It runs and drives, but like most old cars, is mechanically totaled. So it's not perfect, right? This door doesn't open. Okay, that's fun. It doesn't do anything. How do I get out? That's probably not great, but easy fix. Mechanicsville Toyota. So this is a Virginia car. It was sold here, new, and unfortunately it is still here. Oh man, I'm stuck. I gotta figure out how to get out of here. Yes, let me. Oh man. Is it just locked? Wow, so I guess that door handle just doesn't work. Okay, well, fixed. So there's no reason to check under the hood anyway, because it's a Camry. Oh, there's a little whine from the power steering. Could probably use a little top up on the old fluid. Brakes work. Power steering's not happy. I'd really like to get this hood open. Oh yeah, power steering's not connected or just not really there. Man, I need to get the hood open. What? I banged around and got the hood open. I don't know what I did, but you know, it's got probably a little valve cover leak or something like that. But other than that, it's not knocking too bad. Let's check that power steering fluid and turn it off. Oh, it's got a custom battery holder too, which is pretty neat. God, this thing's vintage. Oh, hold on. And ugly. Not a good looking car. All right, things we know. It's got coolant in it. Toyota pink orange, great. It has power steering fluid, which is unfortunate because the power steering doesn't work well. It has oil in it because the way it is, it's all over the place. It has a battery, it has a transmission. Is that a newer AC compressor? If this thing has AC, buddy, that's wild. Maybe also new struts? Get out of here. Get out of here. This thing is decent. It is not decent. Let's see if it drives. That's not a good idea. All right, so we put a little bit of oil in it, so we'd never have to open this hood up again because it's the Camry. We'll never have a reason to until the hood blows up. Is that secure? Probably not. And we're gonna take it for a little spin. So it's running, and it's honestly so smooth that I can't even feel that it's on, which is pretty funny. And the power steering seems to have fixed itself since it's not whining and moaning as much as it probably should. Yes, the window still works. But again, the goal of this exercise, again, I didn't think an auction would sell you a car for $100. Again, this car is worth $100. It's worth less than $100. But you being able to actually transact a automobile that runs and drives on a internet-based auction platform and get away with it is, to me, unheard of. It's happened in the past. Maybe it's something how things used to be, but I'm not aware of this ever being something that was acceptable, and I kind of feel like I got away with it. So that's the premise of this. Do I have a purpose for this car? Cheap car challenge. That's always on my mind, obviously. Anytime you get a cheap car that doesn't have a lot of inherent value, the idea would be to ramp it and drift it. But the brakes work. Again, it's inspected. The tires have tread. I can hear a lot of clinking and clattering in the front end, but it seems okay. It's a Camry. It is alive, which is hilarious, but also completely expected. If I was going to roll the dice on a $100 car, yeah, Camry seems like a good. It shifts too. Not a good idea, but not the worst idea. And we're just cruising along like a normal car without any weird noises besides all the bangs and clunks. So, kind of, man, there's something that's not attached in the front. This is pretty funny. Oh yeah, probably a CV joint. It's not good up there. Let's give it some beans. Yeah, it drives. It drives. I wonder if the e-brake works. Let's find out. Yeah, we'll do a little snow drift slide. It locked up one of the rears. Good enough. Drift in an open field. This is hilarious. Incapable of doing a burnout, but shifts smooth. Wonder how much new oil is coated in the engine bay with that leaky valve cover gasket, but $100 car, huh? This is a new era. Can we do it again? Is it worth it? I don't think so. There's really no point in doing this type of thing besides proving it can be done. But I'm pretty entertained by it. And the reality is, what can you do in the automotive sphere for $100? You can't even get an oil change. You can't get one tire. You can maybe get a brake rotor and a one pad. You know what I mean? So that's again, like how. This thing is fun. This could be used for fun. It could be sold. It could be donated. It could be, any multiple of things. and the dollar spent is so menial or so small, I guess, that you can repeat it and still have fun with it. So that's kind of, how do you play with cars? Well, this is a good way to do it. So I'm happy, I guess, when it comes to this little experiment. Good way to take the fun out of doing car things, and that's losing too much money and not being able to replicate it. But when you buy a $100 Camry, well, I don't really know how I can lose. Checking out the roof, yeah, it works. And unfortunately, the back is not full of skanked beer or drugs, which is a bummer. Kind of expecting more out of the back of a 97 Camry, but you know, not everyone can be a hero. Check, yeah, it works. Like I said, I think this car might have been legitimately inspected too. Again, tires have tread, it brakes, it stops. The door's now open, I fixed that, it has oil in it. It's not pouring anything, the window's open, the lights work. That's really all you need in Virginia. All right, so let's say this for a little bit more of a test drive, let's call it. We get a little TLC. When I mean TLC, I want to put a little air on the tires and clear the check engine light. Basically giving this old girl the love it deserves and requires. But even all the tires have the proper PSI. That's a tune-up. And come to think of it, I think I paid more for this Milwaukee tire inflator than I did for this whole car. So that's where we're at. So let's check out, see what these trouble codes are. Check engines. P0450. And I'm using the Rover Ultra Gauge. And this thing is a tool I've used recently. I can clear check engine lights, read codes, check the temps on everything that I drive. It's kind of just a good little tool for $84 to kind of have around, especially when you're dealing with old junky cars like this. So let's look up see what that code is. Actually, on second thought, let's just clear it because, you know, I don't think it'll come back. I just fixed it, I think. Oil lights off, we're good. All right, let's do it. Yep. So again, even just driving this thing, I've got a big smile on my face because, you know, most YouTube channels, they've got a progression of, let's use Huey's Garage, for example, where you start with junk and you buy other junk, but you consistently get nicer and nicer things as, you know, your funds accumulate and whatnot and your viewership grows. I think I'm doing the exact opposite. I'm going down. I'm starting with semi-interesting, viable cars and really lowering the bar, but I think upping the fun a little bit. And, you know, stuff like this that kind of really keeps me interested. And again, the fact that you can buy something like this, and have it be okay is fun. Is pretty darn fun, especially when you've kind of had it all. I guess when it comes to the range of shitbox cars. I guess, you know, I just got finished paying my $4,500 bill for deferred maintenance on the Diesel X5, which I need to do an update video on. Again, so for the not even a line item worth of work done to that car, I have a very functional vehicle that performs almost the same transportation function, which is kind of crazy. If this guy doesn't hit me, which he can go ahead and hit me, it doesn't matter. Yeah, that kind of hurts my brain a little bit. And my only gripe is that the driver's seat's kind of stuck in the unemployed boyfriend position. Actually, both seats are, so they don't really, they're reclined and back up. So, you know, there's that. But it is a little scary because with this responsibility comes great power. I'm feeling like an Altima owner. Nothing can affect me. Nothing can hurt me. There are no consequences for my action. I'm not really seen. Well, I am kind of seen because this hood's probably gonna blow up, and I'm pretty invisible. It's a smashed up green Camry. It could be anyone, anything, doing any sort of lack of child support payment activity. Oh man, that was almost an accident too. So we're gonna take this thing home. We're gonna give it a bath, clean it since we've adopted it. Maybe breathe a little bit of life into it. We'll see, but not too much. Again, this is not something that you create an emotional attachment to, obviously. The biggest way that you can grow tired of an automotive hobby, the most expensive cars are the ones you keep, right? The ones you keep and maintain. I mean, the price of maintenance and parts and doing things mostly the right way these days will eclipse the initial purchase price of a car. So when you can experience something without that weight of additional kind of maintenance related responsibility, then you are freed as an enthusiast, if you want to call it that. And I'm having those feelings right now. The steering doesn't feel like it's attached to anything. That is slightly concerning, though. So I just had to buy some organic tampons for my wife, which the price of these things was about 10% of the price of the car that I used to drive to CVS. So these are the kind of quick math that's involved with these type of purchases. And get out of here. Let me just all right, and I'm out. So this one's kind of a twofer, right? It is kind of funny that if this car wasn't $100, the video would have been titled, I bought a over 250,000-mile Camry, and it seems fine. Usually they don't come hand in hand, I guess, with being $100 and having 348. So that's 350,000 miles on it. It's just a double entendre of YouTube glory here. Now, the more I get acquainted with this fine automobile, the more I do believe that somebody replaced the struts and then did no other replacement of any of the front suspension components, because they have a nice softish firm feel when going over bumps, but all the secondary movements don't feel like how they should. They might be factory, but the brakes work. Oh, yep. The other thought behind this type of purchase, right, is just because it was cheap doesn't mean it should be purchased. And that is the mentality that I'm hoping that more dealerships acquire, I guess, when bidding on these junk cars at auction for potential resale, right? Like, I do this mostly for my own personal entertainment, but I'm assuming that the other 95% of dealership, independent dealership, licensed dealers, I guess, are probably not doing the same thing. They probably do this to make a profit, not lose money. All for the past 5 years, just crazily inflated prices on garbage, where in the past most likely it was not worth their time or headache. But we all saw during the past 4 or so years that if the key turned, every car was worth at least $2,500, which is wild. So again, this is hopefully a return to a little bit of sanity. It's just it's an interesting feeling, and it's more of a market temperature, I think, than anything else. And check engine light update. Still no check engine light, has not come back. It's idling smooth. It doesn't even have it doesn't feel like it has a PCV, a clogged PCV or anything like that. Maybe just because there's such a big gap in that valve cover that it's just escaping out the path of least resistance. All right, we're gonna go for a little bit of a highway run. Full braking. Oh yeah, she rotates, but mostly just the suspension and not the body. I am impressed that it does shift. No hesitation there. And into the general population, 60 miles an hour. And man, it's like every car that I have is like 1 or 2 bent wheels, just a little bit of driveline or some type of annoying vibration. Not the $9,700 Camry. It's just floating like a Crown Vic. Ooh, yeah. Usually you don't have to make so much steering input in a front-wheel drive car. That's a little odd. Let's test the suspension on this bump. Didn't even bottom out. She loves it. Main highway, 70 miles an hour. I mean, it's just floating along. Oh man, I don't think I could have more fun in a Testarossa at this point, living in an urban area. You know, this isn't a bad time. Whoa, yes, steering again. Last brake check as I go into the retaining wall. Yeah, still working. Engine temp's fine. I even have a half a tank of gas that might even last me until next year. Seeing how this is, I think it's a 2.2 4-cylinder. And the last point I have is it's oddly nostalgic, right? These cloth seats, the smell of it. Generations of people my age, older and younger, have experiences in high school, college, first car. Someone they, either themselves or someone they were friends with or whatever, was driven around in the back seat or the front seat of one of these, like what are these, 3rd gen or 4th gen Camrys. I mean, they're still a kid's car today, and it was an old kid's car, in the early 2000s when I was in high school. And it's just one of those kind of eternal staples of, coming of age automotive, immersion. I got a little bit of brake wobble. That, still holds true to this day. I'm hoping that vibration is maybe just a loose exhaust. I don't know. It just keeps rattling. Maybe this is why Vice Grip Garage doesn't really do, his arrive and drive videos with Japanese and Asian cars, because it would be pretty boring for the usership where he just gets in and drives it home. Interesting. So we've arrived at the Addicted Motors back lot, where I have to probably hide this one from my wife. She's not going to be happy that this has graced the presence of my children and whatnot. But here it is in all its glory, the $100 car. Can you buy a running and driving car from a dealer auction for 1/10 of a box of tampons? And the answer is yes. I don't know what the full plan is for this thing, but if it keeps running, it keeps running. So we'll see what we can come up for it plans-wise, and we'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. And happy bidding. Hey, if you're interested in playing auction roulette, let me know. I'll drop my email. Hit me up on Instagram, and we can get you into a terrible, bad decision any day of the week. See ya.